Hey, what's going on, guys? Are you a beginner? You want to learn about citations? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to maximize your Google Map rankings in 2021. If you want great maps rankings, watch this! All right, hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to speak about citations. Citations were the #1 factor for me to get ranked in the Google 3-pack. In fact, when I started with the Google 3-pack, it was actually a Google 7-pack. And they moved it to a Google 3-pack somewhere around 2015, 2016. Citations are directory websites across the web that verify your name, address, and phone number. In this video, we're going to use, instead of saying name, address, and phone number, we're going to shorten it to the word NAP, name, address, and phone number. So your NAP must be correct throughout the web. So short story is that I had an office on 6341 Amboy Road, and I had about 5,000 cars per day would pass that location. For me at that time, I did not care about Google and being found in Google because I had enough traffic passing my store. When I closed my store in 2011 and moved to an office building, I now had no street location, and I needed to be found on Google. So I purchased a course by a fellow. His name is Paul James. You can look him up on YouTube, Paul James SEO. He put out a course called Maps Mentor. And basically, in this course, what he spoke about was make sure that your address throughout the web is correct. Meaning that if you're on 1010 Main Street, Tampa, Florida, 33782, if that's your address in your Google My Business, and that's your address on your website, then your Yelp page has to have that address. Your Better Business Bureau has to have that address. Your YP Yellow, your Yellow Pages, there are thousands of directories. And there are directories specifically for your industry, but not only your industry, your town. Google uses that as a signal to verify that that is your address. If Google could verify that that's your address and you say what you do in your Google My Business on your website, there's a very good chance you're going to be found in the Google 3-pack. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what are citations, how to get the most out of your citations, and where to order citations. I'm going to try to keep the video as short as possible and just hang out for the next slide. All right, so guys, so what I'd like you to do is I would like you to just type in your brand. My brand is Mindsaw. So I just type that in to Google, and you'll notice that my website comes up first. It's a problem if Google doesn't see your website as its #1 listing. Sometimes I've seen where your Facebook page will come up or your Yelp page will come up. That means that you're not pushing your brand enough. I made a video about that yesterday, so you want to take a look at that video. But you'll see my website, you'll see my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, a couple of videos, right? Now you start seeing some of my citations. Citation being my Yelp page, right? And there it goes, 900 South Avenue, that's correct. There's my LinkedIn page. There's my Dun and Bradstreet. That's another citation. Here's my Twitter. Right, Zoom info. But here's a problem. When I came up with the name Mindsaw, somebody else on Staten Island thought it was a cool name and started branding their band as Mindsaw Recordings. Anyway, it confused Google because they went really heavy on the web. And like I said, at my point, I really didn't care about Google because I was getting a lot of customers just from foot traffic. And these people were, had to had to push out a lot of content on the web, and Google saw Mindsaw as a band. So I got filtered out. So when I realized this, I had to push out a lot of content on other websites. I had to get all my social together. Like, I had to create a Facebook page, a Twitter account, and start pushing out content. A YouTube channel. I had to show Google that Mindsaw wasn't a rock and roll band or a heavy metal band. Mindsaw was an internet marketing agency. All right. So, excuse me. So you want to go through the account and you just want to check your citations. So that's the first thing that you want to do. All right, guys. So in order to purchase citations, you really need to be using a program. I prefer to use the program Bright Local. However, I'm going to show you one or two others that you could use, but it's the one that I use. So I do an audit through Bright Local, and I find out what citations are missing and what citations need to be fixed, and I just order them through Bright Local. I know I've said in the past I use Virtual Girl. I do use Virtual Girl over at Fiverr. However, lately I've been using Bright Local to build all the citations for my clients. So what I do is I do an audit, and on Bright Local, I'll put the link below. Like I always say, I'm not an affiliate. This isn't an affiliate. I don't get any money for it. You don't mention my name. I'm just showing you the programs that I use. And it lets me know that I'm 13% accurate. So for example, my Google My Business is correct and my Bing is correct. However, it can't find Facebook, Foursquare, Yelp, to find local, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is click this button. I'm going to fix all these listings and purchase some more. All right. So I use Bright Local. Bright Local, I think I pay $79 a month. Yeah, here we go. But I use the agency. If you're just a single business, just get the $29 per month, and you could get it. Just hold on to it for a month or two. All right, so I'll put the link in the description below. It's called Bright Local, and you'll be able to audit your site. It'll be able to show you what citations you need. You'll be able to order your citations through Bright Local. I think they're about $2 a piece. They'll create the citations by hand and send them back to you. Now, here's something that a lot of people don't talk about. It's called indexing, and you want to make sure that your citations are indexed. Basically, what indexing means is that they're on Google. They're in the Google search directory. They're in the results. Google will drop duplicate content in order to save space. So for example, if your Yelp listing and your YP yellow listing are exactly the same, meaning that the description is exactly the same, the address should be the same, but when you describe your business, if that is exactly the same, Google will say, well, you have 50 citations. We don't need to keep all this on our servers. We're going to drop 37 of them, and you'll just have 13. So you want to make sure that when you create these citations that you include different descriptions for each citation. So when you create a citation, you'll include your business name, your name, address, your phone number, your website address, and then it'll ask you for a small 50-word or 100-word description. Each one should be different. Okay? Now, you could do it through Bright Local, or if you want, you could do it through this company called Web20 Ranker. And you'll notice that it says shop by category, and you see it says citation audit. So they'll do the citation audit, and then or the citation cleanup, and then you could purchase citations, regional citations, meaning Tampa, Florida, or niche citations, carpet cleaning, right? Okay, so you could use Web20 Ranker, or you could do it yourself through Bright Local. But I suggest that you purchase a citation package. Now, once you receive all your citations back, you want to create a link on your website called Find Us on the Web. And on this website, we created a link. We'll create the page as soon as we get the citations back, and we'll list all the citations on a separate page. On one page, we'll just list all our citations, not Yelp, but yelp.com/B&B window cleaning, their specific page on Yelp, their specific page on Brown Book, their specific page on YP Yellow. Okay. What this does is this keeps the page, those citations indexed. All right, you're not doing it for any other reason except that Google crawls your website and constantly sees your citations on your website, and it keeps them indexed. The only thing that I would do is, once your citations are created, is just change the description in each citation. All right, so guys, we want to make sure that when we input our address into our Google My Business, see right here, it says 900 South Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10314. We want to make sure that on our website, we have the same exact address. So if it says Ave on your website, it should say Ave in your Google My Business, right? It shouldn't say Avenue. And then on your citations, it should be the same way. See that right here? So your citations should be exactly the same. Everything has to be exactly the same across the web. If you're able to do that and you have correct content and your reviews are coming from, Staten Island, New York, let's just say, and saying that people who did business with you in Staten Island, New York, and they built websites, you're going to rank in the Google 3-pack. Now, I want to answer a question in regards to service areas. Well, some people don't, meaning that some people don't put their website in on their website. They don't put their address on their website, right? So how do we get around that? Unfortunately, what I would have done was two things. If you work out of your house, I would have rented an office and use it as an office space. Even if you could rent a desk in a real estate or an insurance office, right? Just to use that address and call it Suite 103. Or if you're not going to do that and you want to just use a service area, unfortunately, you're going to have to use an address on your Yelp page and on your Bing page and so on and so forth. There's no getting around it. I know you don't want people coming to your house, but I'd say the chances are slim to none that somebody's going to actually come to your house from a Brown Book link. If it's, is it possible? Yeah, I guess it is possible, but I'm sure people could find you a bunch of other ways besides, your citation. So people, clients get very paranoid about adding their address to the internet. Your address is already on the internet, right? So I wouldn't worry about that. In your citations, you need to add your address. If you don't want to put your address on your website, that's fine. But you need to add the address in your citations. All right, guys, thank you very much for everything today. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that below. Please subscribe and like my channel. Please share this video if it helped. And like I always say, please make sure you take care of your family. Be appreciative to the people who you live with. Remember, you're able to watch these videos because your family is taking care of the other things. So if you're lucky enough to live with somebody, and if you're married, get up and kiss your wife and take the garbage out, clean behind the couch and walk the dog and make the bed, and always do 51% in a relationship. If you do that, you'll never have a problem. Don't wait to be asked to do something, right? Just because you make money on the internet doesn't necessarily mean that voids you from your responsibilities around the house. It's good to get up every once in a while. Get up and clean up. That's a good saying, right? Get up and clean up, right? Help your wife out, help your husband out, help the kids out, and everything will run smooth. Guys, thank you very much for everything, and we'll catch you tomorrow.